Tigers have won the toss and they have elected to bowl first. We have an exciting matchup on our hands. As mentioned before, the Tigers looked quite confident during the toss presentation. Beautiful presentation ceremony in the morning. The start time was delayed a little today. Day 2 of this beautiful tournament, the sun shining upon us. The Avengers on day 1 lost to the ENA Strikers. The Avengers have a massive task on their hands today. An entertaining first over so far. The bowling has been on point, but a beautiful boundary in the beginning by Vikram Singh. He's been a prolific batter for the Avengers so far. And even in the first match, he was the aggressive force, while Sanjay Singh was definitely the person on the other end who was supporting Vikram as much as possible. Sanjay Singh, in the last game, played the first ball and the last ball. Again, a big heave towards the mid-wicket region. It will only be a single so far. At the end of the over, a great start for the Avengers. Decent, has been on point. 5 runs for no loss. Devi Singh Bhati comes into the attack. For the Samsung Tigers, we have a left arm bowler. Left arm fast. So we can definitely expect some heat here from Devi Singh Bhati. Down the leg side, rushes back to the boundary rope. But they have a man protecting the boundary down at the fine leg region. Seven runs are on board for the first over. Sanjay Singh facing his first legal delivery. Let's see if Sanjay can be the same dominant force that we saw in the first game. Another one down the leg side. This can be a little troublesome. They have a good protection down in the fine leg region for exactly the same purpose. The left armer seems to be getting a little more in swing into the right-handed batter, and it is drifting away and giving the Avengers a few extra runs that they will definitely not mind at this point. It will just help their run rate as much as possible. A great ball to begin with, a thick inside edge onto the pads. Great first up delivery, to be honest. Like, this was his first eagle delivery, and he will definitely be excited that this delivery was on point, and this is the kind of Devi great fielding by the Tigers so far. Really enticing contest we have on our hands. The Avengers versus the Tigers. Tigers definitely seemed extremely confident during the toss and selected to bowl first. Another one down the leg side, another wide being called there. These extras are becoming a little too costly for the Tigers at this point because, as we all know, extras do seem to just tally up the target as much as possible, and then it can be the deciding factor at the end. Vikram, the danger man, is back on strike. He struck a beautiful 40 plus in the first game of the tournament. Again, a massive in swing, but gets on the pad. Big shout, but no, says the umpire. Another beautiful delivery. Tries to go for a big back foot. He's been great bowling so far whenever it has been on his mark. Devi Singh Bhati has been bowling pretty well, especially when it matters. Again, tries to go for that big hit. Gets a thickish inside edge and races away to the boundary ropes for a boundary. This is the kind of Vikram Singh that we know, and this was the task that Vikram Singh had in the first game. Till the time Vikram was in the center, it was anyone's game. Last delivery of the over coming up, 16 runs. A big hit crosses the 30-yard circle and thrashes into the boundary ropes for a 6. What a maximum. A very expensive over to begin with. At the end of the 22nd, at the end of the second over, we are at 22 for no loss. The current run rate is at 11 at this point. If they can maintain this, they can definitely see a score above 200. Last match was extremely difficult when it comes to the run chase for the Avengers. The ENA Strikers were definitely a team above a notch at that point. But here it's anyone's game. The Tigers and the Avengers seems pretty parallel at this point. Let's see if we can get a few glory events from this match. Last game we saw a beautiful 100 by Shizru. Tries to go for the big heave. Another wide coming up. New bowler into the attack. Continuing with his second over is Manpreet Singh. Gets a good bounce, good shot, slashes it hard. It's racing away to the boundary ropes, but it has been done well by the fielder. Will only be a couple runs. The way this duo bats, it is really inspiring to see. One likes to rotate the strike, whereas one likes to hit it big. The ideal partnership when it comes to the opening pair. Again, tries to go big. The fielder does well at the long off region. Saves a couple runs for his team there. If this is the kind of cricket these teams can bring, then it is a contest that we are dearly looking forward to. Again, a massive hit, thrashes to the boundary ropes for a beautiful 4. A great shot there by Sanjay. Pierces the fielders and was rushing towards the boundary ropes. What a beautiful, a glorious hit there. As I was mentioning that Vikram is usually the powerhouse of this partnership, we see Sanjay bringing some glory to the batting duo. Beautiful day today here at the Oval Cricket Stadium here in Noida. Again, a beautiful hit there. Rushes to the mid-wicket region. Will only be a single. This is really smart batting here from Sanjay. He knows that he has already gotten a boundary off of this over. So a single will definitely put the pressure back on the Tigers, because now the danger man Vikram is back on strike. Let's see what Vikram can do here. Can he hit it big on this over? Tries to go for a big hit. Misses it completely. The ball did not bounce as much there. Grips onto the surface a little bit for a little too long. The wicket seems to be holding up a little bit. Again, tries to go for that big hit. Just misses the fielder and races away to the boundary ropes for a 4. An expensive over this. At the end of the third over, it is 34 for no loss. What an explosive start to this innings. Vikram is already batting a beautiful innings of 20 off of 14 deliveries. He has hit 3 boundaries and 1 6, a beautiful strike rate of 142. But keep in mind, Sanjay is no less. He's only faced 4 deliveries and he is already at 7 with that sole boundary. But that boundary, oh my God, what a beautiful drive that was in the previous over. The fourth over is now coming up. An experienced batting duo this. We know that Vikram and Sanjay hold a lot of responsibility on their hands. The Avengers seem to have a very good opening partnership, but the middle order has been crumbling, especially in the last game. Let's see what the middle order can do here. I'm sure they will be looking for a few big runs on the board as well. Last game, ENA posted a mammoth total of above 200. And the Avengers were really short at that point, but Sanjay was the decisive the pick of the batters in the first game. He has been the highest run scorer for the Avengers. First delivery coming up. Quick change in the bowling duo. The cover fielder does really well. Harish Singh Bisht, the new bowler into the attack, right arm fast bowler. Sanjay respected that delivery beautifully. Harish is on the mark from the first delivery. Second delivery coming up, has a beautiful run up there. Misses it completely, just misses the outside edge. Everyone was extremely excited to see if Sanjay had nicked it. Sanjay was disappointed as well because he knows that he can use this pace to get a few more boundaries in the power play. The power play is crucial here. In any T20 game, the power play is extremely crucial, as they know that this is where they can give a good momentum into the innings. It's a short game, a 20 over game, but the 6 overs are crucial from ball 1. A big slash pierces the fielder, races to the boundary ropes, a fielder chasing behind it. What a glorious hit by Sanjay. His drives, his offside, he's really, really strong there. And gives the punishment that he was looking for. He used the pace extremely well, just gives it a direction, and the ball did the rest of the job and races to the boundary ropes. What an incredible delivery, and what an incredible shot by Sanjay. In the last game, Sanjay was playing a very stable innings. He was relaxed in his approach, but now he's looking for a very enthralling and a very powerful innings here, because they know that if Vikram and Sanjay can give this team the boost that they need, they will be looking for a mammoth total. Incredible delivery this by Harish. He has been on the mark. Luckily, no extras have been given in this over. Last delivery of the over coming up. 39 runs of 3.5 overs. This is an exciting ground to be in. A little wet in the outfield because of the dew. We had a match here prior to this one, so the dew has definitely subsided. Tries to go for the big hit, misses it completely, gets the bottom end of the bat, races to the deep long on region fielder. Will only be a single at the end of the 4th over. It is 40 for no loss. We are back in the com box. Another extra there. Devi Singh Bhati with his second over. Whenever he's on the mark, he has been bowling extremely well, but when he's missing the mark just like that, he's conceding a few extras. And unfortunately, the keeping hasn't been up to the mark as well. He has been leaving a few down to the fine leg region, which is giving them another extra run. Perhaps if Devi Singh can control his swing a little, even if it means to bowl a slight bit slower, because whenever he's on the mark, he's really sharp. It's tough to score off a left-hander. Left-hander can definitely be dangerous if he can swing the ball into the right-hander, perhaps from the 4th, 5th stump line. And it can definitely in the end crash into the middle stumps. Again, tries to go for the big swing, but this time misses on the offside for another wide. And the wicketkeeper misses yet again. Another single being taken here. This becomes really expensive in the larger scheme of things. If you keep that in mind, you get one run off of the wide, another run being scored by the team, and an extra delivery. Tries to go for the big hit, pierces the boundaries for a beautiful four, just misses the fielders completely. What an incredible shot that was from Sanjay. No one was expecting that. Waited on the ball a little, pierces the fielders and crashes into the boundary ropes. What an incredible shot that from Sanjay. This is a great start for the Avengers. This is what they need. They know that this is a do or die match. They had to score the big runs, keeping in mind that the net run rate is also not in their favor. If they win this match, they have to win it big to give them a better chance. Oh, misses it. Gets a thick inside edge, but is lucky on that occasion. Oh, gets that shoulder off the bat. Races to the gully region, but will be nothing there. This is better from Devi Singh. He's getting that bounce off of the surface because of a stall bowling arm. Gets good perches off of the surface. I guess spin is suiting Devilal better. Devi Singh. No run being taken on that occasion. Near the square leg region. A little bit fine towards fine leg to square leg, but does well to stop the ball. At the end of the 5th over, it is 51 for no loss. Projected score at this point is well above 200. Run rate is decent and a beautiful 10.2. Sanjay Singh, the pick of the bat is in my opinion so far, because he has been hitting those drives to the dot. 16 runs for Sanjay Singh off of 12 deliveries, but 3 glorious boundaries in that 16. And Vikram has now taken a little bit of a backseat and a little bit of a breather. I guess if this was there in the first game, then they could have easily chased down the target against ENA strikers, because Vikram can definitely hit the long ball when required. So 22 off of 18 deliveries for Vikram, 3 boundaries and 1 6. Strike rate of 122. He's playing the docile innings at this point. Sanjay Singh played a very slow innings in this first game, but here we are seeing a different beast altogether. First delivery of the 6th over coming up. Tries to go for that big hit, misses it completely. Ball did not bounce at all off of the surface. Harish, with his second over, bowled a beautiful first over. He's the reason why the runs had dried up a little. He's ensuring that there are no unnecessarily extra scored during the innings. So what a great job by Harish with that first delivery. Was very close to taking the danger man out of the business. Connects and connects sweetly. What an incredible shot there. A maximum for Vikram Singh, a second maximum for him. This is what Vikram can do. If he connects big. And this is what he wanted to do in the first delivery as well. But that did not bounce, and this one did. And he connected sweetly. Raced to the boundary ropes for a maximum. What an incredible hit that from Vikram Singh. This is the kind of batting we all love to watch. What a game of cricket we have in our hands, folks. Samsung Tigers versus the Samsung Avengers. Day 2 of the Samsung Intercompany Cricket Tournament is underway at the beautiful Oval Stadium between two giants in this tournament. Again, goes for the third delivery. Gets that top edge. Slower delivery that. And the bowler does well. The danger man departs. Great change of pace that. What an incredibly smart bowler. He knew that Vikram will be going again for that big hit. He got that massive top edge and he finishes the job by grabbing a beautiful catch. Was very orthodox there. But this can be difficult when it comes to a pressure situation like this one. A great turn of events here for the Samsung Tigers. This is what they meant during the toss when they said that whatever target they may set, whatever they throw at us, we will take them down. The danger man Vikram had to depart after playing a beautiful knock. Vikram played a beautiful innings of 28 off of 21 deliveries, gave that boost to the partnership. He knew that this was the last over of the power play, so he had to hit it big. He's trying to go for another maximum. This was definitely tough there for the Avengers because he was the powerhouse of the batting lineup. But worry not, folks. Sanjay Singh is still here in the middle. The second duo of this Avengers innings is now in the middle. Karan, the new batter, walks to the center and he will be facing his first delivery against Harish. He has been bowling beautifully today. Hasn't conceded many runs apart from that mammoth of a 6 there. Tries to go for that big hit. Great work there by the fielder. Stopped a very aggressive shot there from Karan. Karan is definitely excited to see that a fielder stopped that tracer bullet. But he will be happy that he connected on the very first delivery. Stayed back into his crease and tries to go for that big drive. Harish bowls it really well. Misses the outside edge. Everyone is in disbelief. What an incredible delivery. He knew that he could have gotten Karan out on this one. Last delivery coming off for this over. And off the power play. And the Avengers will definitely be happy with this power play. Granted that they did not want to lose that wicket of Vikram, the danger man. But still, a beautiful power play for the Avengers, and Sanjay Singh is still in the middle and he has been batting incredibly well. It's really tough to get Sanjay Singh out. Keep that in mind, folks. Oh, another change up in pace. A floater misses it completely. Karan had no clue where the ball was going. A great over from Harish. Gets that wicket of Vikram. At the end of the 6th over, it is 57 for the loss of that 1 wicket. Harish has been bowling really well there. Let's begin the 7th over with Sanjay back on strike. Left armer is back, gets a good glance to the mid-wicket region. Bad misfield will give them another run there. These misfields can definitely be costly there for the team. They already have a lot of extras conceded in the first few overs. Devi Singh with his 3rd over. He knows that he can perhaps get a wicket or two, but he has been the expensive of the bunch of bowlers so far. Economy of above 13. Glances it to the fine leg region, will only be a single. Now Karan, the new batter, back on strike. Devi Singh can definitely target Karan here. He's the unset batsman, so definitely can bowl a few of his deliveries that he swings it back into the right-hander. Can get that possible LBW. Again, a beautiful delivery. Defends it well. Karan just punches it back for a single. This will give Karan a lot of confidence. That punch was very, very authoritative and definitive. Great over so far. No extras coming. That will be a happy, happy surprise for Devi Singh and the team. Tigers know that they have the batting power to chase any total down, but it is always, always a happy coincidence if the team can also get a low total on board. Again, tries to go for a big hit, misses it completely, gets the inside edge. Will only be a single. The fine leg fielder has definitely been active today. He has had quite an eventful morning here at the day 2 of the Samsung Intercompany Cricket Tournament. Sanjay has been batting incredibly well. And as we say that, Karan loses that wicket. We were just mentioning that Devi Singh can probably get the wicket of Karan because he was the unset batsman, the new batter in this pair. And he gets his first wicket. An expensive blow for the Avengers. They know that they need to build up a partnership. 2 wickets in 2 quick successions. First one of the danger man Vikram and now of Karan. What an incredible delivery. The sheer pace completely beat the batter. So we can see the team is entirely pumped up. They know that they have got this in the bag. 62 for the loss of 2 wickets. Janki Raman is the new batter in the middle, with a swaggerful cap being worn backwards. Looks like he's the stylish one in the Avengers crew. Let's see if he can bring that style into his batting as well. Very aggressive stance there and a very aggressive bat lift as well. My goodness, misses it completely. No movement of the feet there for the new batter. Uses a lot of bottom hand there. Perhaps if he can get it in his range, he can hit that long shot. As I was mentioning during the last over, Sanjay is an incredible batter. He scored 20 runs off of 15 deliveries, 3 glorious boundaries there. But the thing to keep in mind is he knows how to rotate strike. But at this point, does Sanjay need to get a little bit of responsibility and perhaps keep the strike to himself and look to hit the weaker delivery and rotate the strike towards the end of the over? At the end of the 7th over, we are at 62 for the loss of 2 wickets. A quick change up in bowling. The right-hander comes into the attack. A spinner down the leg side for a wide. Unnecessarily expensive when it comes to the extras, the Tigers. 13 wides off of the 7 overs, so that is definitely expensive. Another wide there. First one down the leg side, second one down the offside. Umpire has been pretty busy, stretching his arms out as much as possible to showcase a wide. First legal delivery coming up off of the 8th over. Gets that first legal delivery, bowls really well. Sanjay can only pushes to the mid-wicket region fielder. Fielder does well. The field has now opened up quite a bit because the boundary restrictions, the power play restrictions are now off. Tries to go for the big hit, swings it, fielder coming underneath it, misses it. One bounce to the fielder. Sanjay knows that he has to go big now because the run rate seems to be dropping on the team quite a bit. 2 wickets in quick succession. It has been getting warm here today in Noida. New batter tries to go for that big heave again down the offside for another wide. 16th wide, I beg your pardon, for the Tigers. Now, if they were 16 runs short, this would have been a very neck and neck contest. But at this point, I guess the Avengers are slightly edging out the Tigers. But if they lose the wickets, if they get a few more wickets in quick successions, then we can see the Tigers bouncing back. And the Tigers do like to hunt, don't they? We all know that the Tigers are here to hunt and the Avengers are here to avenge their last defeat in the tournament. Tries to go for that massive swing, misses it completely. Janki Raman is definitely the kind of batsman who likes to hit the big ball. Tries to slash it across the offside, but misses it completely. These kind of batters, they usually hit or a miss. Exactly in that occasion, the feet were nowhere for the batter. Deceived in the spin. Sanjay, the experienced batter, comes to quickly let his partner know what is required off of him. Goes down the leg side for another wide. Another wicket. Janki Raman has to walk back. He has to walk back for not at that point. The footwork was definitely not in the books there for Janki Raman today. Not his day at all. A disappointing walk back. And like we mentioned, the Tigers are bouncing back as much as possible. They are looking like they are on the prowl. Day 2 of the Samsung Intercompany Cricket Tournament. The Tri-Series between the ENA Strikers, the Samsung Avengers and the Samsung Tigers. Sanjay, like always, has been the pick of the batters so far. He's still in the middle. Likes to do it that way. Even in the first game, we saw his partners coming and going, whereas Sanjay stayed till the very last delivery. Just lost his wicket, trying to go for that sweep or the scoop during the first game. Prempal, the captain, comes to the middle. Great delivery to begin with. Can just push it back to the fielder. Harish back into the attack. Great first off delivery. Harish has been the pick of the bowler so far. Tries to go for that big hit. Fielder does well in the mid-wicket region. Got that bounce off of the surface. Prempal was quick to get back on his feet, but found the fielder there on that occasion. He definitely knows how to perhaps get a couple wickets. Harish got the big wicket of the danger man, Vikram. Can he get another one off the captain? Beautiful shot there to the extra cover region fielder. Will only be a single. Sanjay has been batting really well so far. Like on the last delivery, just guides the ball for a quick single. Really quick on his feet. Prempal, the captain, is now on strike. The keeper misses it completely. Gets that single. Another overthrow for another run. Sloppy in the field for the Tigers there. The captain definitely not happy with that effort. First by the wicketkeeper. And then the fielder with a wild throw. Good running between the wickets. They knew that this was an overthrow and they got that extra run. They know every run matters in this massive game, because the Avengers have to win this one to stay alive in the competition. A big outside edge gets the captain. What a beautiful wicket there by Harish. This is what we have been mentioning so far. Harish is the pick of the bowlers. A dangerous, dangerous delivery that gets that thick outside edge. The team is extremely happy there. Zoom in karo bhai. The captain has to walk back. Harish being brought back into the attack and gets that beautiful wicket of the captain there. Ever since the first wicket fell, it has been a domino effect for the Avengers. One after the other, we can see the wickets falling. Extremely unfortunate this for the Avengers. The new batter is now on strike. Dwarika. Let's see what Dwarika can do. Can he be the supporting fiddle to Sanjay? Or will he be part of the domino in this collapse of the Avengers batting lineup? Tries to go for that big hit. First wide for Harish. But what a bowler he has been. He has been quick. He has changed the pace whenever that is required. He has been bang on the money when it comes to the line and length. Definitely the pick of the bowlers here for the Tigers. Tigers look like a very well-rounded team. And the Avengers so far have had a tough competition in this tournament. Another wide coming up, 2 consecutive extras. The extras can be a little costly for the Tigers, even though they have been getting wickets in quick succession. Dwarika Prasad is yet to face a legal delivery. Let's see if this can be it. Tries to go for the big drive, but a great change up in pace again, like I mentioned. A little too agitated in the field there. If the fielding unit is cool, calm and composed, we see that wickets do fall on regular occasions. And at this point, it has been a pretty bad nosedive for the Avengers after a very eventful power play. As we saw in the first game as well, after the first wicket fell, we saw a little bit of a collapse there for the Avengers. Again, tries to go for that punch. Great shot there by Sanjay. Again, the pick of the batters here for the Avengers. Gets a quick single. Gets Dwarika back on strike. At the end of the 9th over, we're at 75 for the loss of 4 wickets. Now Sanjay Singh is back on strike. 3rd over for Harish winds up now. It's a question of how the bowlers will be utilized in the rest of the overs and what will the captain do. Because so far, he's used only 3 bowlers. Manpreet Singh, Devi Singh and Harish Singh. The Singh trio. All of them have bowled 3 overs each. Devi Singh has been very expensive, having conceded 33 runs off of 3 deliveries, but has gotten a wicket as well. Manpreet Singh also has gotten a wicket in his 3 overs and conceded 22 runs. And Harish Singh, the pick of the bowlers, 2 wickets for 20, an economy of only 6.6 in a T20 game. What an incredible bowler that. Let's see if we can see things take a turn for the better for the Avengers. As the new bowler comes into the attack, we have Sandeep with his first over. Spinner, very fast and aggressive spinner. Great delivery there. Where has this rocket been so far for the Tigers? What an incredible first delivery to begin with. Just adjusting his field a little. The deep long on fielder was a little finer than expected. Getting him a little wide for that big hit against Sanjay. Sanjay respects the bowler when the bowler deserves it. He knows that he is a great bowler there, Sandeep. Very respectful. Sanjay just pushes the ball back. 3rd ball coming up. Gets that quick single. Will be looking for that double. Are they running? They're running well. This is a wild throw. A little bit slow. Great running between the wickets. Sanjay is extremely happy with that. 2 quick runs on the board there for Sanjay in this over. 3 great deliveries. He's very quick on the ball, Sandeep. A very short run up as well for a spinner. Pushes it for a quick single. Races to the fielder. Will only be a single down the cover region. Great bowling, great batting, great fielding. Great overall cricket here at day 2 of the Samsung Intercompany Cricket Tournament. The fielder has been brought up inside the circle at this point. Tries to go late on the ball there, Dwarika. Does well for a single. If they can rotate the strike like this, and perhaps in the last 5-6 overs, try to go for the big hits, then definitely they can put up a mammoth total. Last delivery coming off of this over. He has been very quick in his spell. This over went by like a breeze for the Tigers. What a great delivery. Pushes it. Great use of the wrist there. The deep long on fielder does well to keep the total to only a single. At the end of the 10th over, it is 80 for the loss of 4 wickets. Run rate of 8. Took a deep dive after the power play, and mainly after losing the wicket of Vikram. Vikram and Sanjay were a great duo during the power play and for the opening partnership. Gave quite a bit of stability to the team. But after that, we can see that the wickets are falling from only one end, and Sachin is still there. So we will be back after a quick drinks break. At the end of the 11th over, it is 90 for the loss of 4 wickets. We're back in the comm box after a quick break. We took a quick drinks break ourselves here. Beautiful day 2 of the Samsung Intercompany Cricket Tournament. Change of ends here in the middle. Bowling attack has been on point, but Dwarika and Sanjay are bringing up a beautiful partnership in the middle, and they are looking to drive the Avengers to a mammoth total. Run rate is at a respectable 8. But 30 extras, that is a bit of a concern, because if we keep the extras out of the equation, then the Samsung Avengers would have been trailing by a lot at this point. What an incredible over this has been for Sandeep. He's very quick in his overs, somewhat like Jadeja. Again, a very quick delivery for an off spinner, giving no extra runs there at all. On the money from ball 1, Sandeep. Again, a bit of a loose delivery, guides it to the fine leg region for a 4. What an incredible delivery there. And what a shot there from Dwarika. He will be definitely happy with that. And he'll be extremely confident with that hit to unsettle the Tigers a little and to unsettle Sandeep a little. Goes for that massive hit. Point region fielder does well, will only be a single. Could not capitalize on that full toss. Last delivery of the over coming up. 95 runs off of 4 wickets. The wickets have stopped. A lucky thing for the Avengers at this point. Goes for the big hit down the ground. The fielder comes underneath it. And what an incredible catch. What work in the deep. The long on fielder does extremely well. He knew where the boundary rope was. The danger man, Sanjay, has to depart. That was a massive hit there. This is tough times for the Samsung Avengers. The Tigers are on cloud 9 with that wicket. The danger man, Sanjay, has to depart. He was the one who was holding the innings together for the Avengers. Let's see what the Avengers can do now, because this is a very big collapse here after that first wicket fell. This is the 5th wicket down for the Avengers. A beautiful partnership was building up between Dwarika and Sanjay. And that was a massive, massive hit. On any other ground, that would have been a 6. The fielder, what an incredible catch that. That was the best catch of the match. Definitely will get an award for that. Sanjay has to depart after 27 off of 28 deliveries. The strike rate dried up as well later on. The main thing were the 3 glorious boundaries during his innings. But now they are definitely in a state of bother. Dwarika Prasad has to play that brutal innings in the second half of this batting unit. Right arm medium, Abhishek Tyagi is now into the attack. Vipin Rawat, the new batsman. Let's see what Vipin and Dwarika can do. Can they build up a partnership that is decently required here for the Samsung Avengers? The Avengers need to avenge themselves at this point. Can they do it? Again tries to go for that big hit. Misses it completely, but a wide being called there by the umpire. The extras are definitely creeping up a bit. The extras are keeping the Avengers in the game. But if we take the extras out of the equation, another wide being called there by the umpire. Abhishek has to just calm his nerves a little bit. He has a great action. Yes, turns it a little. Lands one bounce and goes to the fielder in the cover region. Quick single brings the new batter on strike, Vipin Rawat. Let's see what Vipin can do at this point. Can he take on the bowler here? Tries to go for that big hit, misses it completely. No ball being called there by the umpire. Will be a free hit. Can Vipin take advantage of the free hit? This is a chance for Vipin to hit the long ball. Tries to go for that big hit, misses it completely, gets it on his thigh pad. Could not capitalize on that free hit at all, Vipin. Good couple deliveries from Abhishek there. Gets the total up to 99. And with that single, the Avengers have crossed the 100-run mark. An innings that has been solidified by Vikram and Sanjay. And thanks to some extras from the Tigers team. Tries to go for that massive hit again, but misses it completely. Another wide being called there by the umpire. 34th extra there for the Tigers. They won't be happy with that effort. Change of ends for the bowler. Good shot there, misses the fielder completely. To the extra deep cover region fielder. The field set has been a little redundant in my opinion. Last couple deliveries coming off of this over. 103 runs already on board. Tries to go for that big hit to the long gone region. Will only be a single, getting Dwarika back on strike for the final delivery of this over. Abhishek Tyagi, the sixth bowler for the Tigers. Again, tries to go for that massive cut, but misses it completely. Great bounce off of the surface. At the end of the 13th over, we're sitting at 104 for the loss of 5 wickets. The next 7 overs will be crucial for both the teams here. If they can get a quick innings started, then the Avengers can look at a total of perhaps in the ballpark of 160, 150. They will be very happy with that par score. And the bowlers will have something to fight for in the second innings of this match. Day 2 of the Samsung Intercompany Cricket Tournament. We're here at the beautiful Oval Cricket Stadium. A late start for the proceedings today. We started at around 11 o'clock. We're close to the culmination of the first innings, and everyone will be looking forward to a beautiful final 7 overs of this innings. Can the Avengers take a massive stride forward in terms of the team total? Perhaps get it across 150, 160. They will definitely be happy with that. And I know the bowlers will be happy with that. And they know that they can defend a total on the board. Even a par total on the board. The Tigers looked very happy in the field. The first 6 overs were completely lopsided towards the Avengers. But after that, it has been a turn of events, and the Tigers are now in a comfortable leading position. Wide being called there by the umpire. Very quick off of the surface. The danger man is back into the attack for the Tigers. Harish is now back into the attack, bowling his final over. Change of end for Harish. If he can get this wicket here, of Dwarika especially, then the match is almost done and dusted. A good punch there from Vikram. A little bit of air time there, but only a single, bringing Dwarika back on strike. Dwarika has been playing a very sensible innings here. In the larger scheme of things, the strike rate isn't as high as what is desired in a T20 contest, but he's becoming the pillar of this Avengers innings so far. Defends it well. Team is extremely happy with this bowling effort. The Tigers are looking to close up this innings below a par score. Oh, very close there. Harish extremely animated on that occasion. He knew that if this wicket can go down, then that will be a proper collapse for the Avengers. 13.3 overs done, 106 for the loss of 5 wickets. Tries to go for that big swing, misses the fielders completely, races away to the boundary ropes. Can the fielder do well? Yes, he does. Third man region fielder cuts it up, will only be 2 runs there. Harish will be happy with that because the fielders were inside the circle. A harder slash onto the ball would have definitely been a boundary on that occasion for Dwarika, and he is yearning for a boundary at this point. And the Avengers need a couple big hits. Dwarika goes for the big hit, finds the cover region fielder, will only be a single. At the end of the 14th over, it is 109 for the loss of 5 wickets. A big shy at the stumps, gets a quick single. Sandeep back into the attack for the Tigers with his 3rd over. Very quick with his overs and very quick in the air as well. Good call, good running between the wickets by Dwarika. Very quick, lean and clear call there. He knows that running between the wickets is the requirement at this stage because they are not able to get the boundaries off of the 2 bowlers. Let's see what Sandeep can do with the 3rd delivery coming up. Tries to go for that big hit, misses it completely. Wide being called there by the umpire. Great delivery, gets the inside edge, rushes to the square leg region. Will only be a single. Gets Vipin back on strike. Dwarika is playing a decent innings of 16 off of 23 deliveries. Scored 1 boundary there. And Vipin currently is playing at 4 off of 6 deliveries. Sandeep has been bowling incredibly well. Gets a massive no ball there. Will not be happy with that effort. He knows that he has been bowling well. He's been bowling pretty quick for an off spinner. A free hit there again for Vipin. Can he capitalize on this one? 2 gifts for Vipin in 2-3 overs. Tried to go for that massive hit again on the back foot. Misses it completely. They're thrashed onto the stumps. But luckily it was a no ball. So Vipin gets another life. Lucky, lucky, lucky for the Avengers here. But they need all the luck that they can get their way, because they're trailing when it comes to the power score. They need a couple big innings. Oh, very close there. Right in the block hole for Vipin. Sandeep extremely animated in the field. Jersey number 56. Conceded only 15 so far. Last delivery of the over coming up. Great shot there. Pierces the fielder for a beautiful boundary. Dwarika knows what was required. He is the pillar of the Avengers innings. First it was Vikram, then Sanjay, and now Dwarika stepping up. Beg your pardon, Vipin with that beautiful boundary. This will give a lot of confidence to Vipin. Radhe, the new bowler, right arm fast, comes into the attack. Dwarika, the pillar, is now on strike. Beautiful tri-series between the ENA strikers, the Samsung Tigers, and the Samsung Avengers. First match between the ENA strikers and the Samsung Avengers was won by the strikers. The Avengers in a do-or-die situation here to stay alive in the tournament. Last league match for the Avengers coming up. Tries to slash his hard, but misses it completely. Yet again, it's been sort of a copy-paste kind of a situation here for Dwarika. Again, tries to slash it hard. Yet again, gets good bounce off of the surface and gets good speed off of the surface as well. The keeper does well to collect it cleanly. Little unorthodox in his keeping style there. Wide being called by the umpire. Even if they go wicket to wicket, this is great bowling for the Tigers. Tries to go for that punch. Misses the cover region fielder. Misfield and will concede a single. Vipin is now the batter on strike. Dwarika will definitely not be happy with those couple heaves that he tried in the first few deliveries, because he knows that they need a boundary at this stage. Great delivery from Radhe there. Misses Vipin completely. Clearly collected by the keeper yet again. The keeper is now coming into action. Great running between the wickets there by the pair. At the end of the 16th over, it is 123 for the loss of 5 wickets. 4 crucial overs coming up now. Can the Avengers get the total up to 160 or even 150 at this point? They can give their bowlers something to defend at. Scorecard so far hasn't been very attractive for the Avengers. Vikram scoring 28, Sanjay scoring 27, Karan scoring single, Janki Raman and Prempal scoring knots, Dwarika at 19 and Vipin at 9. And Vipin is the batter back on strike. Spinner comes into the attack, tries to go for that big hit. Mid-wicket region fielder cuts it off. Will only be a single there. Will be a little disappointed there because that was a good delivery to perhaps score their first boundary in quite a long time. Dwarika back on strike, playing a decent innings of 19 off of 27 deliveries. One boundary so far. He will be looking to capitalize on this over because the spinner is looping the ball up a little. Again, loops it up, tries to go for that big hit, misses it completely, gets the inside edge, rushes to the fine leg region fielder. Will only be a single there. Vipin is now back on strike. 125 on board. Another 25 to 35 runs required to get it to a par score. And then the bowlers can have something to defend. Loops it up. Vipin misses it completely, but a wide being called there by the umpire. 40 extras in this innings of 125 will be a point of concern. Great slash there. Goes to the gully region. Will only be a single. Get its Dwarika back on strike. The single doubles won't do it anymore because they need a few big hits to give a powerful blow at the later stages of their innings. Wide being called there. Extras have been pretty costly for the Tigers because if we get the extras out of the equation, it's only 80-85 runs that have been scored off of the bat. Another wide there. The bowler losing his line completely in the last couple deliveries. And Dwarika will be looking to capitalize on it because the bowler is now certainly pressurized. Tries to go for that big hit, gets that slash done. Races to the point region fielder. Will only be a single, getting Vipin back on strike. This has been a very docile inning so far for the Avengers. Not too many flurries, not too many boundaries or maximums. Vipin tries to go for that big heave. Wide. Another single being taken. They will be happy with that. Also with that extra delivery. They desperately want a boundary in this over. At least one boundary per over can get them to a very good total. Again, tries to go for that big heave. Misses it completely. Wicketkeeper does well. Couple more deliveries left off of this over. Again, good shot there. Will only be a single. The fielder does well. The extra cover, deep extra cover region fielder. At the end of the 17th over, we are sitting at 134 for the loss of 5 wickets. Was a little expensive, that last over. "44 extras have already been conceded by the Tigers. 37 wides, 3 no balls and 4 byes in that tally of 44. Vipin Rawat playing a beautiful innings of 11 over 14 deliveries, and Dwarika Prasad playing another beautiful innings, the pillar of this middle order batting lineup for the Avengers at 23 off of 31 deliveries. Avengers, if they can get these 20s into the 50s, like Vikram was playing at 28, Sanjay was at 27, Dwarika at 23. If they can bring this up to perhaps a 40 or a 50, then they can be looking at a beautiful total, even if only 3 overs remain. Radhe comes back into the attack. Dwarika, the pillar, on strike. facing the first delivery of Dwarikov of the 18th over. Beautiful delivery, gets that top his shoulder, running to the point region. Will only be a single, getting Vipin back on strike. The fielding team does well to just keep it down to a single. Radhe has been bowling in a very decent line and length throughout his 2 overs so far. Second ball coming off. Short run up for a fast bowler. Very lanky build. Gets a good shot. Long off region comes into action. Will only be a single. Dwarika definitely wanted that second, but no, says Vipin. But a good call there by Vipin at the end, because that was definitely only a single. Dwarika is at this point desperate for a few more runs to come up on the board. Again, a good delivery there. Respects it. Quick single. Cover region fielder has to be a little more proactive there if he wants to stop that. He is really inside the circle and close to the batters. If he can stop that single and create a little more pressure on the batters, they can get a couple more wickets and end the innings cheaply for the Avengers. Vipin misses it completely. No footwork there from Vipin on that account. Tries to chase the ball with his bat. Wanted to slash as hard as possible. Tries to get that gap between the deep point and that deep extra cover fielder. Again, tries to go for that massive hit. Nothing doing. The ball and the bat are miles apart. The keeper has been pretty active in this over and has been doing well, not giving any extra runs. Radhe has been bowling superbly. Great field placement there. Mid-wicket fielder really onto the batters. At the end of the 18th over, we're sitting at only 137 off of 5. Only 2 runs scored off of that last over. Now, in 2 overs, can they really bring the target up? Because they have to hit it big. Can they get the total up to 160 or 165 to put up a respectable total that the bowlers can somewhat defend to? Sandeep with his last over coming up. Sandeep has been bowling beautifully when it comes to this match. Very quick in the air for a spinner. Almost at the pace of some of the bowlers, the fast bowlers here. Again, a wide there. Another extra coming up and another run being scored off of that wide. Sandeep will not be happy with that effort. He has been very economical so far in his 3 overs. An economy of 7 is very respectable in the larger scheme of things for Sandeep. Tries to go for that big. He misses it completely, Vipin. Vipin has been missing everything that has been in the arc. But I'm sure when he connects, he will connect big. There's a massive gap there in the mid-wicket region between the long on and the mid-wicket fielder. Get a thickish bottom edge. Will only be a single. Square leg fielder does well to keep it down to a single. Dwarika now back on strike. He has been facing Sandeep quite a bit in his previous 3 overs. So can he take charge and perhaps get that much needed boundary in the 19th over? Gets that top edge up in the air. Fielder coming underneath it. 3 people converging. Misses it completely. There's a massive collision in the middle. I hope the fielders are well. The cover region fielder, the bowler and the wicketkeeper were rushing for the same ball. Clear calling is very crucial in the field when it comes to such kind of deliveries and a compact field setup. There was no call there. Luckily, Sandeep is well because he took quite a massive tumble there. He's flicking his knee a little. Hope everything is all right. Doesn't seem like it. The knee is bothering him. And he wants a change up in the bowling. He's not going to risk it. That is definitely a good call to not risk it, Sandeep. But beautiful 3 overs so far. 3.5 overs to be precise. Sandeep wants to walk off the field because that tumble gave him a slight niggle. She'll not be happy with. He's kicking the field a little. Hope that knee is all right. That was a hard fall. This is a hard surface that we are playing on. Sandeep has to walk back. Great bowling effort from Sandeep in his 3.3 overs. He conceded only 23 runs, took that 1 wicket, and an economy of 6.5. Great job, Sandeep. We are looking for a speedy recovery and for you to be back in all action in the next game on next Saturday between the ENA Strikers and the Samsung Tigers from the Noida Cricket Stadium. Three more balls to be finished off. 19th over. Gets a good strike. Long on fielder does well to keep it to a double. Mix up in the middle. And that's an unfortunate run out there by Vipin. Proper mix up in the middle. A proper blunder there by the batting duo. They were doing so well when it comes to running between the wickets. Vipin and Dwarika were batting extremely well. They know that they were crunched for runs. That is why this blunder took place. They were desperate for runs, perhaps a boundary. And an unfortunate wicket there. Vipin has to depart. Played a beautiful innings of 14 off of 21 deliveries. Strike rate of 66. And that beautiful boundary near the point region. A great knock there. Really solidified the innings for the Avengers, which was looking to tumble before the 20 over quarters. 142 for the loss of 6 wickets. Rohan is the next batter in. 18.4 overs on 142 runs on board, 6 wickets down. Dwarika tries to go for that big heave, will only be a single. The mid-wicket fielder is in action. Only keep it down to a single. Rohan, the batter, the new batter on strike for the final ball of the 19th over. Again tries to go for that big heave, misses it completely. Now Dwarika is back on strike for the final over of this innings. 143 on the board for 6 wickets at the end of the 19th over. Let's see what Dwarika can do in the last and final over with Radhe coming back into the attack. He was very economical in his last over, conceded only 2 runs there. Can Dwarika get the total up to 150, 155 to give the bowler something to defend at? Rohan back on strike. Will only be a single, gets that inside edge. Dwarika back on strike, 145 on board. Perhaps 5-6 runs more are required at this stage to get a par score on board. Tries to go for that massive hit. Radhe does well, connects it cleanly. Overthrows are very costly here. Rohan now back on strike. Number 18. Can he do something glorious like the number 18 batters? Kohli, for example. Last 3 deliveries. Can a couple boundaries come up and take the tally across the 150 mark? 146. Tries to go for that big heave. Misses it completely. The run rate dried up completely after the power play because of the quick wickets that had been falling across the innings. Tries to go for the big hit. Fielder coming underneath it. Misses it completely. Races to the boundary ropes. Brings up the 150 for the Avengers. What an incredible strike from Rohan. This is what was required in the innings. Gets to 150. A sigh of relief for the Avengers. 150 for the loss of 6 wickets. And the last delivery is now coming up for the over. Rohan will be looking for another boundary there. Tries to hit it big. A wide being called there. A gift from Radhe to Rohan and to the Avengers. 151 on board. Can he finish off with a massive 6? Radhe for his final delivery of the innings. Misses it completely, Rohan. Radhe gets his first. What an incredible innings this has been. Great batting, great bowling, great fielding. At the end of the 20 overs, we're sitting at 151 for the loss of 7 wickets. 152 is the target for the Samsung Tigers. Can they chase it down, or do the Avengers have something in the bank to give a massive upset to the Tigers? The Avengers, it's a do or die match for the Avengers. They will be definitely wanting to finish it off quickly and cheaply for the Tigers. But the Tigers, they know that they've got this in the bag. They've bowled incredibly well. Can they bat equally well? Can they again give an upset to the Avengers and end their journey here at the Samsung Intercompany Cricket Tournament? We will be back with the second innings. 152 to chase in the stipulated 20 overs. We will be back shortly. Welcome back to the second innings of day 2 for the Samsung Intercompany Cricket Tournament. We are here to witness a beautiful chase by the Samsung Tigers against the Samsung Avengers. The Avengers put up 151 on board. Pick of the batters, Vikram Singh and Sanjay. The two openers, Dwarika with a flourish in the tail end. 152 need to be chased down. Let's see what Tigers can do here. A par score, to be honest. The first 6 overs will definitely be crucial. 2 fielders outside the circle, 1 in the long on region and 1 in the deep mid wicket region. Very unorthodox batting stance there for the opener. Pushes it for a quick single. Misses the ball completely, but luckily will not cost them an extra run. Manish Sharma and Radhe, the two batters, come to centre. Radhe now facing his first delivery. Defends it beautifully. Prem Pal, the captain, takes charge to bowl the first over. Great 2 deliveries to begin with. Again a push to the bowler. Prem Pal does well in his first 3 deliveries. If he's on the money, then this is game on between the Tigers and the Avengers. Misses it completely, races to the boundary ropes. Fielder does extremely well. The keeper missed that completely. Everyone missed that completely. Luckily, the third man region fielder, he did well on that occasion. Radhe drives it to Ravi. Does well. No run being taken on that occasion. If we are being honest, it's a par score and the Tigers definitely have the batting lineup. But the first over has been pleasant for the Avengers. They need a couple wickets in the power play to get the momentum shifted towards their way. At the end of the first over, only 3 runs off of no wicket. Manish Sharma, 1 of 1. Radhe, not of 5. The main thing is to curb the extras. If they can curb the extras, then definitely it's game on. The partner for Prem Pal now comes into the attack. Spinner. 2 spinners from both the ends. Very quick in the air. Similar to Sandeep of the Tigers. Very quick in the air. Karan is the new bowler into the attack. Again, like I mentioned, very quick in the air. No footwork there for Manish at all. Has no answer to the Karan delivery. If this is the way that Karan can bowl, then we're definitely in for a beautiful matchup. Gets it on the thigh pad. Get a single. Umpire calls it off the bat. So another run being added to Manish's tally. Radhe comes back on strike. Wide being called there. First extras for the Avengers. This is what they have to curb if they can keep the extras in check. And it's a difficult wicket to bat on because the bounce is pretty uneven as we witnessed in the first innings. Great delivery. Gets rushed onto the bat. Karan is very quick off of the surface. Will only be a single. Radhe is off the mark. First runs on the board for Radhe. Will definitely be happy with that. Builds up a lot of confidence this. Whenever you get the first runs on board. Manish pushes it to the long off region. Will only be a single. Great batting and bowling so far from the two teams. But I'm extremely surprised by the way the Avengers have come out. They've come out all guns blazing. And they're bowling incredibly well. Great push there to the mid-wicket region fielder. Will only be a single. At the end of the second over, it is 8 for no loss. Manish is currently playing at 3, Radhe at 2, extras of 3, 1 wide and 2 byes. The bowling team will be very happy with the way the first 2 overs went. If they can also get a wicket on top, then this will be game done and dusted in terms of the power play, and then the middle order will come into action. And I'm sure that they're saving some firepower in the middle order, because so far Karan and Prempal have had the better of these 2 batters. Manish a little bit slow in terms of his footwork, but still gets a good hand-eye coordination and connects well with the ball, which is what is required at the end of the day. If you can connect well, time it well, doesn't matter, does it? Radhe pushes it to the point region fielder. Will only be a single, gets Manish back on strike. Prempal back into the action with a second over. The economy for Prempal is extremely impressive. Great keeping skills there. Very quick. The glove work is to admire. Wow, that was brilliant there by the keeper. Prempal will be very happy with the way the team is performing in the first couple overs now. The way he whipped those bails off, that's almost unseen. In corporate cricket especially. Pushes it. Cover region fielder does well. Football skills come into action here. As we saw on day one of the tournament was very exciting in terms of both cricket and football skills, because we saw a lot of football skills in the fielding from both the teams, the ANA Strikers and the Avengers. So day 2 here should be no less. Great shot there. Races away to the boundary ropes. First boundary off of Radhe's bat. What an incredible shot that. Gets on the back foot, thrashes it through the square leg fielder. What an incredible use of the power play. He knows the fielder is inside the circle. He knew that if it crosses the 30-yard circle once, there's no looking back. Great boundary there from Radhe to begin with. This is game on between the Samsung Tigers and the Samsung Avengers. Great comeback delivery there from Prempal. Misses the outside edge completely. Radhe will be very confident now, having struck that clean 4. Up in the air. Fielder coming underneath it. Misses it completely. Will only be a single. Radhe not happy with himself. Slashing the bat across the air. At the end of the third over, it is 15 for no loss. The run rate is in the favor of the Avengers at this point. Keep in mind, folks, the Avengers were leading when it comes to the power plays. They were playing a beautiful innings, Vikram and Sanjay, before the first wicket was lost in the last over of the power play. So if we can see a similar thing from the Tiger pair, then it's game on. But so far, Karan and Prempal are bang on target. They're bowling well, not giving too many extras. And they're not being deterred by that boundary as well. Again, a beautiful delivery. Gets the outside edge. Rushes to the third man region. Will only be a single. Gets Manish back on strike. Incredible delivery there. Big, thick outside edge. Runs are always welcome for the batting team, even if it comes off of the edge. And a power score. But a defendable score here for the Avengers. Great bowling there by Karan. This looks like a completely revamped team from the first innings. Bowling is their strong suit here. Tries to go for that big hit. Gets the bottom end of the bat. Mid-wicket region fielder does well. A lot of encouragement going on in the field, which is ideal to see, especially amongst teammates. Very happy with the way the things are proceeding. The captain, Prempal, again tries to go for that big hit. Radhe misses it completely. Great glove work there by the wicket keeper. The keeper has been on the money here. quick on the bails and quick with his gloves. Again misses it completely. Great glove work there. Collects it cleanly. This can be extremely difficult for a bowler like Karan, especially when you're keeping, because Karan is very quick off of the surface. We can see Radhe is facing a little bit of a challenge against Karan. Tries to go for that hit again. Blocks it. Will only be a single to the point region fielder. Fielding was a little slow there by Dwarika. Points to his shoulder. Shoulder does not seem to be at 100% there for Dwarika. Dwarika comes into the action. 2 overs done for Prempal and Karan. Dwarika with his first ball wide there. Extras need to be dealt with carefully here for the Avengers, because the extras was the reason why the Avengers got a mammoth total on board, but an at par total, to be honest, on this ground. But by the looks of it, they look to be in the driving seat, especially in the bowling department. Radhe tries to go big. Dwarika does well. Stops it. Concedes no run. First legal delivery. Will be very happy with that to get it off the board. 19 runs already on board for the Tigers. No wide being called there. Almost off the bat. Keeping skills have been incredible here by the Avengers keeper. Let's see what Dwarika can do with his third delivery. Goes back. That's a wicket. Dwarika gets the breakthrough. Radhe has to depart. This is tough times for the Samsung Tigers. The run rate is not on board, and now they get a crucial wicket of Radhe. The Avengers will be very happy the way the first few overs have gone for this innings. They have been bowling superbly well. They have been on target, bang on the money from ball one. Prempal, Karan, and now Dwarika with that breakthrough. What an incredible turn of events here, because after the first innings, the Tigers were in the driver's seat, but now it's anyone's game. Looks like the Avengers are here to avenge their victory. They're racing towards a victory here. 1 wicket down, 4.3 overs done, 19 for 1. Manish Sharma is still in the middle. Radhe was batting brilliantly, scored 10, and that beautiful boundary near the square leg region. Sandeep, the new batter, comes into action. Sandeep bowled really well, had that little niggle because of that impact with the wicket keeper when he was bowling. Now let's see what Sandeep the batter can do here. If he can bat equally as well he can bowl, then this is game on. Tigers, let's see what they can do. Tries to slash his big. The point region fielder does well. The gully region fielder does well. No run conceded off of that. Keep in mind, folks, it's a little tough to field in the point and the gully region because the ball turns to leave away from the fielder and turns right on the bounce. Great push there. Quick single taken by the Tigers. Sandeep does well to get the first run on the board. He will be happy with that. Every batter, even if it's the top international batters around the globe, they want to get that first single done and dusted. No one likes a duck on their scorecard. The first single done. Manish, the batter, back on strike. Very sensible innings by Manish. Footwork is a little bit missing. Long on region fielder does well, will only be a single. At the end of the 5th over, it is 21 for the loss of 1 wicket. Curran back in action with his 3rd over. Gets a single in the mid-wicket region. Manish does well. Footwork seems to be improving now that his eyes have set in. Big shout there. Oh. No, says the umpire. Sandeep a little disoriented. Looking to play it on the leg side. To glance it because he knows that there is a big deficit between the square leg and the fine leg fielder. Tries to slash it hard, nothing doing, very quick off of the surface. Curran knows where his strength lies and he is utilizing it very well. If he can just bowl this in the wicket to wicket region, if he can maintain that kind of line, then if the batter misses, great throw there. Quick single. 2nd run for Sandeep on board. Quick single being taken in the long on region. Rohan, the fielder. Big slash gets a thick outside edge. 3rd man region fielder does well. Stops it only for a single. At the end of the 6th over, it is 25 for the loss of 1 wicket. The Avengers are in a commanding position here. They've really curbed the runs in the power play, which was required. Extras have dried up, which is extremely important here. And they have stopped the flow of runs for the Tigers. Now the Tigers are definitely on the back seat. Bottom edge there. The mid-wicket region fielder comes into action. Sandeep calls for a 2. Goes for the quick 2. Quick fumble there in the mid-wicket region. Induced that extra run. Prempal, the captain, not happy with the way that went. He wants them to be very proactive and agile in the field like he is. Look at him. Jersey number 14, ready to pounce. Hits it well. Sandeep dives. Missed it completely. Prempal dives, I beg your pardon. Long off comes into action. Great shot by Sandeep. He will be very confident after that one. Very confident and bold stroke. Manish comes back on strike. Dwarika bowling extremely well. Gets that crucial breakthrough of Radhe as well. Top edge in the air. Fielder coming underneath it. Falls in the no man land. Will only be a single there. Dwarika was looking for a 2nd wicket. And he definitely could have gotten it. The fielders need to be a little more proactive, as the captain mentions. He's setting the field by example. The captain leading from the front here. Ooh, big shout there. Gets the thigh pad. Luckily, no wide there for the Avengers. .4 overs, 29 for 1. What an incredible delivery. The 2nd wicket falls. Dwarika gets his 2nd scalp. Sandeep has to walk back. What an incredible start to the Avengers bowling unit. 2 wickets, both of them for Dwarika. Karan and Prempal set up the track. They put up the pressure on the batters, and Dwarika got the 2 crucial wickets. Sandeep now has to walk back. At the end of the 7th over, it is 29 for the loss of 2 wickets. I beg your pardon, there's one more ball left. So the new batter will face that. You can see the energy pumping in the Avengers camp. They know that this is game on and they are back in action here. They want to get this done and dusted as quickly as possible and enjoy the rest of the Saturdays. 6.5 overs, 29 for 2. Dwarika will definitely be looking for another scalp. If he can get this in this over, that is done and dusted for Dwarika. What an incredible job he has done with the bat and the ball. So far, definitely the player of the match. Harish Singh, the new batter. He was the pick of the bowlers for the Samsung Tigers. Now he has the bat in hand. Let's see what he can do with that weapon. Massive blade there that Harish is wielding. Great delivery by Dwarika. A big slash. They think it's an outside edge. They were convinced it's an outside edge. The batter doesn't move. The umpire doesn't move. Prempal asking too many questions at this point. Wow. What an over from Dwarika. At the end of the 7th over, it is 29 for the loss of 2 wickets. Karan back for his 4th and final over. This is great strategy from Prempal. He knows that Karan has been bowling well. He's in the rhythm. He's warm. And he wants to finish it off because Karan has been bowling a dream. He's very quick off the surface. He's very quick in the air. A dream delivery. Look at that. Thrashes into the pads. Leg byes. Will only be a single there. Harish back on strike to face the second delivery. Very entertaining first delivery for Harish. Dwarika bowled incredibly well that. Both the scalps go to his name. First Radhe and then Sandeep. Great delivery there. Defends it well, Harish. Karan is bang on the money. And the best part is, they've not given too many extras. A very pleasant surprise there. Again, what a beautiful delivery. Big shout there. Harish at the moment has no answer for these 2 spinners. Karan is disorienting the batters at this point. Very quick in the air. Slashes it. Misses it completely. The keeper has been a gem for the Avengers. He's not missing anything. He's grabbing everything that comes his way. A big bounce there for Karan. No run being awarded there for Harish. He's yearning to get off the strike. He's already faced 5 deliveries. Last delivery coming up of this over. Very quick in the air. So he's very quick with his over as well. And that's it. That is a run out. A big mix up. Manish has to go back. The pillar of the Tigers innings so far has to walk back now. A complete blunder there from Manish. Harish did not want that single. Now he has to head back. What an energy within the Avengers camp. They are bang on the money when it comes to the fielding and the bowling. What a unit this is turning out to be. Avengers are avenging themselves at this point, and they know that this is a crucial match for them. It's a do or die situation for them in the tournament. And at this moment, they are sailing towards victory because the Tigers are crumbling against the Avengers. At the end of the 8th over, it is 30 for the loss of 3 wickets. What an incredible turnaround for the Avengers, all led by these 3 bowlers, Prempal, Karan and Dwarika. Dwarika with his 3rd over. Devi Singh, the new batter, comes to the middle. Let's see what Devi Singh can do. He was a little expensive with his bowling. Let's see if he can bring up a massive total and help the Tigers cross the finishing line. Still 121 runs required. Defends it cleanly. Dwarika bowling really well. Sometimes quick in the air, sometimes a little loopy. He's playing with his deliveries, but he's trusting his stock delivery as much as possible because that has gotten him the 2 wickets, the 2 scalps. Karan putting on the pressure and Dwarika getting the wickets done. A quick single there. Again, a mix-up in the middle, to be honest. They have to be quick when it comes to running between the wickets. Calls have to be loud and clear. But let's be honest, what a decent bowling group this has been so far. 3 bowlers, and they have really turned things around. If a couple more bowlers join the party and they can continue this is game done and dusted for the Tigers. And the Avengers will be looking for a win here. Tries to go for that big hit, Harish. Will only be a single. 2 runs. Great running between the wickets. Good calling there by Devi Singh. Big heave there. Good call. They don't want another run out coming their way. Dwarika has been bowling really beautifully there. Pushes it to the mid-wicket region. Can that be another mix-up? No. Does really well. Good running between the wickets for the Tigers now. Devi Singh and Harish have a good partnership building up. If they can call like this and perhaps get a couple more boundaries, they will be very happy. 3rd over done and dusted for Dwarika. At the end of the 9th over, it is 36 for the loss of 3 wickets. The current run rate is at 4, which is really concerning because they're almost halfway done. And keep this in mind, folks. We're halfway done within 40 minutes or almost 30 minutes of play because the 3 spinners, they haven't given too many extras and they're very quick in the air. So they're wrapping up their overs at the speed of thunder. At the end of the 9th over, 36 for the loss of 3 wickets. Manish has fallen, Radhe has fallen, Sandeep has fallen, and we have Harish and Devi who are in the middle now. Vipin Rawat, the new bowler, comes into the attack, the left armour. Let's see what Vipin can do. Can he continue with the party that the Avengers have set up? They're still using a very aggressive field. The Avengers, only 2 fielders outside the circle still, despite it not being a power play anymore. But the pressure is adding on when the fielders are inside the circle. The batters are not able to get the required runs. They're not able to clear the 30-yard region. So it makes sense that Prem Pal, the captain, very quick and very witty when it comes to his field placement. Great ball first up for Vipin. Second ball coming up. Gets a thickish outside edge. Not too quick in the point region, Dwarika. Perhaps if he was a little quicker, that could have been a wicket. 38 runs on board now. They will be looking for a few more maximums at this point, or even a couple boundaries each over to comfortably cross the target. Mid-wicket region fielder does well. They're not sloppy in the field at all. They're very sharp on the field. Not missing too many deliveries there. They're feeding really well. The pick of the fielders has definitely been the wicketkeeper. He's very quick. Gets a glance. Fine leg region comes into action. Gets a quick single. Devi is now back on strike. Harish playing a sensible innings of 7 off of 13 deliveries. Strike rate, of course, has been pretty low for the entire batting scorecard. Devi now back on strike. Pushes it. No runs. Great job by Vipin there. Fields it really well. All the bowlers have been on the money. They're not giving any extras. Only 5 extras have come in almost 10 overs. And they seem to be cruising at this point. Last ball. Great delivery to finish up the over. At the end of the 10th over, it is 40 for the loss of 3 wickets. I beg your pardon, it's 39 for the loss of 3 wickets. A run rate of 3.9 is very concerning when it comes to a big run chase here. We will be back after a quick drinks break. In the next 10 overs, the Avengers have a mammoth total on their hands to chase. The required run rate is creeping up quite a bit at this point. There will be a quick change of ends as well. This match has relatively been docile when it comes to the boundary tally. Not too many boundaries coming. But the running between the wickets have been pretty spectacular for both the Avengers and the Tigers. The Samsung Tigers require 113 runs and 60 deliveries. A daunting task at this point, by keeping the scheme of things in mind. Only 39 runs scored off of 10 overs, and they've already lost 3 wickets. And only 1 boundary in the last 10 overs. This is extremely concerning here. We are back in action after the drinks break. A quick change of ends. 113 runs required off of 10 overs now. A big task on their hands. 11.3 is the required run rate. Harish Singh and Devi Singh are in the middle. First ball. Good running between the wicket, will only be a single. Dwarika is back into the attack after a change of ends. Very economical, has already picked up 2 wickets, has only given 14 runs in his 3.1 overs. 40 runs comes on board for the Tigers. They will be definitely happy with the 40, but they need a few more. A big shout there! Not out being given by the umpire. Devi Singh was in a state of bother there for a second. Deceived the batsman completely in the air. Great matchup so far. What a great hit. Clears the boundary rope. Almost. Clears the yard circle. Race to the boundary rope will only be 2 runs. Great fielding in the deep. The team is very proactive in the field. Dwarika does really well. Devi trying to go for a quick maximum there, but mistimes it a little. Tries to go again. Wide being called there. First extra after quite a while there. Will be very happy with that. The Avengers. They've not given too many extras, which is extremely crucial. Keep in mind that the Tigers gave almost 50 runs in that extra tally. Again tries to go for that big heave. Pierces the 30-yard circle, races towards the boundary rope for the second and a much-needed boundary. Devi Singh with that flourish there. And they are finally switching gears, which was required for the Tigers. A very welcoming and a very surprising boundary there for the Samsung Tigers. At the end of the 12th over, 69 is on board at the loss of 3 wickets. Quick mix-up in the scoring. A quick tally back to ensure that everything is fair in this match. Quick change of bats for Harish. Perhaps trying to go for a bigger willow. Maybe a bigger willow will help him clear the boundary rope easily. Last delivery coming off of this over. 47 scored so far at the loss of 3 wickets. Last delivery of the 11th over. Last over of the 11th. Last delivery. Great shot there. Pushes it. Good fielding there by Vipin as well. At the end of the 11th over, it is 48 for the loss of 3 wickets. What a beautiful hit there by Devi Singh. That final in that last over. Disrupting Dwarika. But Dwarika bowled a beautiful spell. 4 overs, 22 for 2 wickets. Economy of 5.5, which is very breathtaking, especially in a T20 contest. Vipin now back into the attack. Slinky left armour. Very quick there. Cover region fielder does well. The captain Prempal in the cover region again. Usually we see the captains prefer the cover region. They can manage the field, talk to their bowlers, and be on top of the game. Tries to go for the big hit. Fielder coming underneath. It clears the fielder. Races away to the boundary ropes for a 4. Another beautiful hit by Devi Singh. He's taking it to the bowlers. Finally, are we seeing the real Tigers batting lineup? Because this is what is required at this point. Only 100 runs are now required off of 52 deliveries. By the looks of it, Devi Singh himself can take the Tigers across the rope. Second ball coming off of this over. Wide being called there, in under pressure now, the bowler. As we can see, once the bowler is under pressure, the line and length go out of the window. Not only conceded a wide, but also gave an extra run in the middle. Now Harish is back on strike. A single being taken there. Good running between the wicket by the pair, Harish and Devi. Devi has definitely rattled Vipin. As I just mentioned, he has definitely rattled Vipin quite a bit here, because now he has forgotten his line and length, which he was bowling beautifully in the previous over before the drinks break. We see a different game altogether after the drinks break here, because the Tigers are taking it up as a challenge to chase this target down as quickly as possible. Great delivery there by Vipin again. Good feeling by the bowler. 56 for the loss of 3 wickets so far. Again, good delivery there, right on the money. If Prempal could have collected it cleanly, that would have been close at the non-striker end. Last ball coming off of the 12th over. Harish will be facing the last delivery. They definitely want Devi on strike as much as possible. Tries to go for that big heave, misses it completely. Wicketkeeper does well. Dislodges the bails. Really good job there. At the end of the 12th over, it is 57 for the loss of 3 wickets. Run rate at 4.75. The Samsung Tigers, they need 95 in 48 deliveries. The required run rate definitely creeping up quite a bit now. But with the way Devi has been batting, we can definitely see a very close contest in the next 8 overs. In 8 overs, 95 runs are required. A big task here, because the boundaries had dried up before Devi came into the picture. Earlier, Devi was pretty expensive when it came to his bowling figures, but he has made it all up when it comes to his batting performance, because he has been batting brilliantly here. A quick change in the bowling unit. Ravi comes into the attack. Let's see what Ravi can do. Can he be the crucial breakthrough? Get Avengers that crucial breakthrough that is required at this point, because the Tigers a thickish glance there to the fine leg region. Will only be a single. Harish now back on strike. Leg bye is being given there by the umpire. Harish back on strike. Ravi, the second delivery. Again, another glance. He's on the pads quite a bit. The fine leg fielder has been pretty active today. Number 45. Luckily, the fielding has been on point for the Avengers. But ever since the drink break has concluded, the runs have been flowing. And flowing pretty well at this point. But still, can we see something special from the Tigers? Because this required run rate is creeping up slowly and steadily. They need a few boundaries every over. Tries to go for that big slog. The mid-wicket fielder does well. Will only be a single. Harish is now back on strike. Devi is trying to find the gaps. But that is definitely a little tough, given that the bowling has been on point. And no unnecessary extras have been given by the Avengers. which hasn't allowed the Tigers to settle in at all. Tries to go for that big hit. Fielder coming underneath it. Sails it for his head for a maximum there. What an incredible shot by Harish. He joins the party into the run chase. If Harish and Devi can continue doing this, this is game on. They need a boundary, a six, something each over, and they want to have good running between the wicket, good calls, just to tick up the total slowly and steadily. Incredible job there by Harish. What a maximum. Connects it fully. Tries to go for the big slog again. Misses it completely. Again, the fine leg fielder is in action. Will only be a single. Devi now back on strike with the last delivery of this over. Can Devi get another boundary perhaps? A wide there. The two batters have unsettled the bowling unit at this point. They're completely flabbergasted at the way this batting pair has showed up after the drinks break. These 3 overs have been very entertaining for the viewers here. A big shout. Not out being given. Mix up in the middle. And that's a wicket. What a mix up. What a mix up. That is a blunder there between the batting duo because they were batting beautifully well. This was the partnership that could have gotten them across the line. This is unfortunate. What an incredible direct hit. Dislodges the wicket there. Harish cannot believe it at all. This is complete dismay for the Tigers. The Avengers are pumped up. The team is coming to congratulate Harish. He batted really well. Scored 17 off of 19 deliveries. He did give that massive 6 in that last over. He's really not happy with himself, Harish. A big mix-up in the middle. As I've always mentioned, calls have to be loud and clear, especially in the corporate cricket format. We don't want to give away unnecessary wickets, and that too a massive wicket of Harish. GoPro now being added to the equation for the Samsung Tigers. Can the GoPro bring some luck at this point? Perhaps the GoPro has been added at the wrong place. इसको ऊपर डालना होता है ऐसे नहीं नहीं At the end of the 13th over, it is 68 for the loss of 4 wickets. Man, oh man, what an entertaining over that was from Ravi. A massive 6 there from Harish, and then the unfortunate run out there. Very, very concerning this for the Tigers because Devi and Harish were taking this match away from the Avengers. And now suddenly, in a state of bother again, Devi with that massive slash races to the boundary ropes. Can the fielder cut it? Yes, he can. Does well. The third man region fielder. Devi is now back on strike. 2 runs being scored off of that delivery. They cannot believe what has happened in the last over. The perfect partnership has been broken up by an unnecessary mix-up in the middle. Vipin with his third over. Tries to go for that big hit. Slogs it really well. Mid-wicket region fielder comes in play. Will only be a single. Manpreet Singh, the new batter, is now taking strike. Jersey number 5 will be facing his first delivery against the slinky left armer Vipin. Vipin missed his line and length in last over, but has been bowling really well in this one. onto the pads, glances it really well. Mid-wicket region fielder will only keep it down to a single. Devi is now back on strike. If Vipin is bowling onto the pads of Devi, that will be really challenging for the fielders to chase down, because he's really powerful on the leg side. Devi Singh, number 19. Let's see what can he do to bring this contest on equal terms at this point. Vipin with a beautiful delivery, pushes it well, will only be a single. Dwarika in the cover region. Can only be a single at that point. Manpreet, with a good glance to begin with, opens up his tally. Will be very happy with that. Tries to go for that big hit. Not out, said the square leg umpire. Looked very close, to be honest. At least from the comm box. Looked like the batter was out. But the umpires know best, definitely. Manpreet facing the next delivery. Tries to go for the big hit. Will only be a single. Races to the long off region. The fielding team is really proactive. They do well. At the end of the 14th over, we're sitting at 74 for the loss of 4 wickets. The Samsung Tigers, they need 78 runs in the next 6 overs. A daunting task, but the danger man, Devi Singh, is still in the middle. Scored 20 off of 20 and 2 beautiful boundaries. Manpreet sitting at 2, having faced 3 deliveries. This is game on, folks. I think this is going to be very close, and the next 6 overs will be hugely entertaining, so stay tuned. The Avengers, a do or die match for them to be alive in the tournament. A big wide there. Ravi apologizing to his team. The team being held up to high standards in terms of their bowling, not giving too many extras. And they like to keep it that way, to be honest. Current run rate of 5.29. Tries to go for that big hit. Mistimes it a little. Will only be a single. If Devi was on strike on that one, that would have been lodged out of the ground. Manpreet is trying to get his eye settled in with the additional responsibilities of the GoPro attached to his head. Devi, now the batter on strike, the danger man against Ravi. A very entertaining last over from Ravi. Tries to go for that big slog. Fielders cut it up really well. Will only be a single. The fielding team does well. Maybe a little proactive in the middle is what is required. This could have been 2 runs. Very easy to, actually. With a mammoth total like this, they can't really rest when it comes to batting in the middle. They have to be quick within the wickets, and they have to dislodge the weaker deliveries again. A massive hit there. What an incredible shot there by Manpreet. One bounce, thrashes to the side screen. This is required. Now Manpreet joins the party. This is what was required from the Tigers. Now Devi and Manpreet are building up a very nice partnership. Manpreet sitting at a comfortable 7 off of 5 deliveries. Scored that beautiful boundary. Now Ravi in a state of bother. 5.59 is the current run rate. A thickish outside edge there, races to the third man region, will only be a single, getting the danger man Davy back on strike. 71 runs. Beg your pardon, 70 runs are now required off of 32 deliveries. This is definitely game on. Devi Singh Bhati on strike. Let's see if we can see a couple boundaries here. The last two deliveries. Ooh, respected really well. On the money with that delivery. Ravi will be pretty happy with that one. The Avengers seem to have lost their energy a little bit after the flurry of boundaries in the last 5 overs. They need to encourage their teammates up. Get the energy up and pumping. Tries to go for the big hit. Up in the air. Fielder coming underneath it. And miss. Oh, what a beautiful catch. Fumbles it. Gets it on the second chance. The danger man, Devi, has to depart. What a comical catch that was. For a second, almost one-handed in the end. This has been incredible. What a big turnaround for Ravi. Ravi getting a wicket on the second last delivery, and the danger man, Devi, has to depart. The innings now crumbling at this stage. 14.5 overs done, 82 for the loss of 4 wickets. Beg your pardon, at the end of the 15th over, it is 82 for the loss of 5 wickets. Tigers require 70 off of the next 5 overs. And folks, we have 2 fresh new batters in the middle. So this is going to be extremely challenging for the Tigers, because the 2 dangerous batters have now departed. Current run rate of 15.47. Manpreet currently in the middle. Scored 8 off of his 6 deliveries with that one beautiful boundary right back behind the bowler. Vipin now comes back into the attack for his final over. He's going at runner ball. Conceded 18 runs off of 3 overs. Again, a beautiful delivery. Pushes it to the cover region. Fielder will be only a single because of that fumble. The captain, Prempal, is definitely not happy with himself. He knows that could have been a wicket. Could have been very close, to be honest. Niladri, the new batter, in the middle. With a strong and big build. He can definitely hit the long ball. Let's see what can he do there. Tries to hit it big, misses it completely. The keeper, for the very first time, fumbling a little. Great backup there by the fine leg fielder. 83 runs on board, 69 required off of 29 deliveries. Has to be a very explosive last 5 overs at this point. Misses it completely. Keeper a little too quick on that occasion. The keeper misses a couple opportunities there in the last couple deliveries. Manpreet has to take the load on himself. Has to score the majority of the runs at this point. 69 runs are now required. 68 runs are now required off of 27 deliveries. A massive slash goes to the third man region. Will only be a single. $85 runs on board. Lost 5 wickets. Still the 100 hasn't come up. So they're definitely in a state of bother. A big shout there. And a big wicket falls again for not a duck for Niladri. Beg your pardon, he scored just 1 run. He opened up his account, but has to depart. A flurry of wickets are falling now after that beautiful partnership between Devi and Harish. We're seeing a proper collapse in terms of the batting order. 15.5 overs done. It is 85 for the loss of 6 wickets. 67 runs are still required off of 25 deliveries. The new batter walks to the middle to join Manpreet. Manpreet losing partners quicker than the daylight falls upon us. Pradeep, the new batter, comes into the middle. Pretty lanky build there. Vipin versus Pradeep tries to go for that big hit. Mistimes it completely. Vipin cleanly collects it. At the end of the 16th over, it is 85 for the loss of 6 wickets. Vipin finishes beautiful quarter of 4 overs with conceding only 21 runs, and he took up a crucial wicket as well. Economy of 5.25, they will be very, very happy with that. Four overs are now remaining. 67 runs are required for the Tigers. Seems to be pretty lopsided at this point. Tries to go for that big hit. Clears the 30-yard region fielder. Races to the boundary ropes for a 4. What an incredible shot that from Manpreet. Manpreet is taking the challenge upon himself. He wants to see his through. He wants to see his team win it. In a way, if they win this match, they will definitely proceed on to the finals, which will be then against the E&A. Good shot there by Manpreet. 2 runs being taken. Very unfortunate there. Dwarika has that shoulder problem, so could not go for the overhand throw. Underhand throw. Pretty weak throw, to be honest, from someone who's feeling so far deep outside the 30-yard circle. A slight push towards the point region, gully region. Will only be a single there. Tries to go for the big hit. Mistimes it a little, will only be a single. Manpreet now wants to be on strike as much as possible. 93 runs are on board. Tries to go for that big hit. Finds the fielder. Tries to go for the 2. Has to be very quick and is very quick. Thanks to Pradeep's lanky build, he's really quick between the wickets. Good call there by Manpreet. He knows that he has to be the one who has to be on strike as much as possible to take the brunt of the deliveries now. He's scored quite a bit, to be honest. 19 runs scored off of 13 deliveries. Make that 20. And make that 21. Great running between the wicket for Manpreet and Pradeep. They are calling well. They're taking their time. And they're sprinting as hard as possible. At the end of the 17th over, it is 97 for the loss of 6 wickets. The Tigers need 55 runs in 3 overs. A big, big task this. But can Manpreet really take it to the cleaners in the next 3 overs? And can he make it challenging for the Tigers? For the Avengers, I beg your pardon. Ravi comes back into the attack. He picked up that crucial wicket in his last over. Prempal bowled that beautiful last over. 3 overs for 20. Got no wickets, unfortunately. Ravi very slow in the air, so deceives the batsman almost. Does well to keep it down to a single. Manpreet back on strike. 98 runs on board now. Couple more runs are required to bring up the team 100. That will be task number 1 for sure. Tries to go for that big swing again. Will only be a single. Fielder is quick onto the ball. Does extremely well. Keep it down to a single. 99 on board for the Tigers. Pradeep, the batter, on strike. Can he perhaps look for a couple boundaries, especially in the leg side region? Seems to be pretty open. That is what I was talking about. Great shot there. Races to the boundary ropes towards the gong box for a 4. What an incredible hit. With that, the 100 comes up on the board. 103 for the loss of 6 wickets. This is what was required. There was a massive gap between the mid-wicket region and the fine leg region. And Pradeep used it to full use, waited on the ball as much as possible, and just guides it towards the boundary rope for a 4. A welcome boundary for the Tigers. 17.3 overs done to bring up their 100. 49 runs are now required off of 15 deliveries. Has to be a very flourishing innings, to be honest. A wide being called there. That can be a happy blessing for the batting duo and for the batting team side there. 48 runs required off of 15 deliveries now. Can either Pradeep or Manpreet? Yes, that is what was required, but unfortunately there's a fielder placed just for that shot. Will only be a single. Manpreet back on strike. We've already seen that he can hit it big. Perhaps we need a couple more boundaries here in this over. If these two were perhaps sent a little bit up the order, we could have had a pretty exciting run chase on our hands. The Tigers, I think, took it a little too lightly, especially in the beginning, and now they are in a state of bother completely. So 47 runs are required off of 14 deliveries now. Off of 13 deliveries. Tries to go for the big heave, gets the upper edge, lands in the no man's zone. 2 runs being taken on that occasion. Great running between the wickets. At the end of the 18th over, it is 107 for the loss of 6 wickets. Tigers need 45 runs in the next 12 deliveries. 2 overs 45 is a mammoth ask. 22.5 required run rate. They need a massive over. At least 3, 4 sixes are required now to keep them alive in this game. Can Pradeep or Manpreet do it? Manpreet definitely has shown us that he can. But we are yet to see a maximum from the duo. Only 3 boundaries amongst the pair in front of us right now. 107 off of 6. Tries to go for that massive hit. Will only find the fielder. Will only be a single in the long on region. Field placement is spot on. Rohan, the tall man there, keeps it down to a single. Manpreet, the danger man, is on strike now. A very loopy bowler. Can he take him on? Oh, as I was mentioning, he's a loopy bowler. Bowls a really quick one. Captain Prem Pal with his final over. What a great delivery. Pushed into the batter. Nothing could have been done at that point. Great bowling so far. Manpreet now back on strike. 110 runs already on board. But this is getting very concerning at this point. What a beautiful way of dismissing Manpreet, the danger man. He knew that he would want to get down the wicket. Bowls it a little wide. The keeper does extremely well, and he's very quick with its stumping. What a great, great turn of events. The Avengers now looks like to be done and dusted. 111 on board for the loss of 7 wickets, only 3 wickets left. 9 balls remaining, 41 runs are still required. The danger man, Manpreet, has to depart. A big round of applause for Manpreet. He did bat incredibly well, especially with that GoPro on. Excited to see what kind of videos we can see. What a great delivery to begin with to the new batter, Dharmendra Kumar, on strike number 45 here. Very unorthodox stance there. Tries to go for that big hit, hits it, connects it really well, but a fielder is placed just for that protection. Great bowling so far for Prempal. Got his first wicket of the match. Tries to go for that big hit again and clears the boundary rope for a 4. Pradeep comes into the action. What an incredible boundary that. Perhaps a little too late at this point. At the end of the 19th over, it is 116 for the loss of 7 wickets. Last over coming up. And guys, guess what? We need 6 sixes to win the match. 6 sixes are required for the Tigers to win this contest. Can they do it? Let's see. Tries to go for the massive hit. Doesn't connect it. Is this done and dusted for the Tigers? The Avengers have crept through. My goodness, folks. This seems to be done and dusted at this point. Only 3 deliveries are now remaining. Smooth sailing till the end for the Avengers. This will help their run rate quite a bit as well. Now Avengers will be definitely looking forward to the contest between the ENA Strikers and the Tigers. If the Strikers win that comfortably, then the Avengers and the Strikers will meet again in the finals at the Noida Cricket Stadium. Tries to go for that hit right into the hands of the captain. What a great turn of events there. Beautiful catch. 32 runs still required, and the balls are done and dusted. Last ball coming off this match. A very exciting innings so far. Completely lopsided. And the Avengers have done really well in their bowling unit. Incredible bowling this by the Avengers. Final ball coming off of this over and for the match. Tries to go for that big hit. Will only be a single, and with that, the Avengers have done it. The Avengers have finally won their first match on day 2 of the Samsung Intercompany Cricket Tournament. What an incredible effort by the fielding group. The best part about the innings has been the tight bowling and their incredible fielding. They did not get too many extras. What a beautiful way to end the match. In both our games, in day 1 and day 2, we saw the teams batting first have won. And with that, we will meet again for day 3 of the Samsung Intercompany Cricket Tournament, where the ENA Strikers take on the Samsung Tigers. The Tigers will have another chance at redemption. If they win that next match, then it'll be game on between the 3. We'll see whoever has the best strike with the best net run rate will qualify. Thank you everyone. We had a beautiful day of cricket here between the two teams. A big congratulations to the Samsung Avengers, and we will be back with the post-match presentation.